Run It Back Nation, what is good? Sicko Nation, what is good? Today, Philadelphia 76ers Media Day kicked off, and I'm here to tell you all of the interesting parts about it so you don't have to go through and watch the whole thing. All right? You're welcome in advance. These sicko hoodies are available right now on runitbackphillyshop.com. If you are a 76ers sicko, you should be rocking one of these. They're on sale right now. Prices are slashed. runitbackphillyshop.com. Thank you to everyone purchasing. Give me 1 million likes on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. Only 50% of people that watch these videos are subscribed to the channel. That's fraudulent behavior. And let's get right down to business. We're going to use my guy, Sam DiGiovanni. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Sixers for clutch points. Because he went through live while the press conferences were happening and gave us all the interesting parts. All right, so shout out to Sam. And there's some other parts that he doesn't highlight that I'm highlighting myself in this video. And towards the end of the video, we're going to make fun of Ben Simmons because it's still fun for me. And we're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks and their upcoming implosion. But anyway, to start Media Day, we had Daryl Morey and we had Nick Nurse. And Daryl Morey said this: "We are very excited for this roster. Big goals for this season. Players are really, really ready to get going." Nick Nurse said, "For me, it's getting a chance to get the training camp start to see what it all looks like, and trying to forge an identity for this team. This is exciting. A lot of new players on the roster. A lot of things for Nick Nurse to figure out. I think training camp is going to be very interesting, and there's going to be a lot to talk about every day of Sixers training camp, which starts tomorrow, by the way." Daryl Morey on maintaining Joel Embiid's health for the end of the season. "We're going to be very smart about how we manage him through the season with a focus on April, May, and June," Daryl Morey said. Now, this is interesting because last season when Nick Nurse first got here, one of the things that Nick Nurse said, which I thought was insane, was, "I'm going to play Joel Embiid more than he played this season before." And he did that. And Joel Embiid tore his meniscus. Now, I'm not saying that's why Joel Embiid tore his meniscus, because Joel Embiid gets hurt every season, no matter what happens. But basically, yeah, the emphasis is to try, again, to get to the damn playoffs with Joel Embiid healthy. And so Daryl Morey's letting everyone know there's going to be a lot more strategy when it comes to Joel Embiid playing and what games he plays. Maybe no Joel Embiid back-to-backs. And Joel Embiid said something interesting about this during his press conference. I'm going to talk about that later in this video. Nick Nurse said that the Sixers roster is improved and that players have already started putting in work together. "I think we had a tremendous offseason. The players have been here a lot this fall." So our players are in there getting it done, in there getting to work. Nick Nurse had a comment on Dikembe, which is interesting. I have pretty high expectations for Dikembe. I think he's going to surprise some people. Nick Nurse said he's a rookie. We'll see. He touted Bona's work ethic and energy, added that he really believes in development through a G League. So, I was saying that maybe there will be a Dikembe, Andre Drummond backup center rotation. Nick Nurse is letting us know, I think, that Dikembe will probably start his Sixers tenure in the G League. For Yabusele, Nurse said he's more of a 4 who can plug in at the 5 than a true 5. So I think based on this quote from Nick Nurse, you're going to see a rotation of Andre Drummond and maybe Gershon Yabusele at backup center versus Dikembe at least the beginning of this upcoming season. It sounds to me like Nick Nurse definitely likes what he sees from the Yabusele so far. So we have high hopes for our boy coming back across the pond, Gershon Yabusele, or Yabu, as the Euros refer to him as. Nick Nurse on Sixers backup centers. For Drummond, I want him to play to his strength, which are rebounding, rolling, tallying, deflections, and steals. I think there's more he can do than just rebound. And then he talked about Bona, and he talked about Yabusele. Daryl Morey on Joel Embiid's Olympic experience. I don't think I'm really interested in that. Daryl Morey took pause during media day to discuss Dikembe Mutombo's passing. Yes, R.I.P. Dikembe Mutombo, a true legend, a wonderful human being who has done nothing but try his best to help his home continent of Africa. Dikembe Mutombo was a huge part of my childhood. I started watching the Sixers right around when they traded for Dikembe Mutombo after Theo Ratliff got injured, and his battles with Shaq in the NBA Finals were just amazing to witness live. And the block and Mutombo finger wave will forever be an iconic move. Dikembe Mutombo passed away at 58 years old from brain cancer. That is incredibly sad. But R.I.P. to a true legend, Dikembe Mutombo. One of the main reasons the Philadelphia 76ers ever got to an NBA Finals in my lifetime. Rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo. Nick Nurse on... That sucks. It sucks to talk about. It sucks that I just had to... It sucks. It sucks. But he was a legend, man. Yeah. Nick Nurse said he expects Tyrese Maxey to take another big step this season. He really had an amazing summer. I don't want to put any thoughts of a ceiling on this guy. It sounds like a reporter maybe asked him, what do you think Tyrese Maxey's ceiling is? Which, number one, would be a dumb question to ask a coach. Nick Nurse says, I'm not putting a ceiling on Tyrese Maxey. He takes a big step every offseason, and he is just becoming a superstar. He didn't say that. I said that. I think we got a really good chance to be. I think we got a chance to be really good defensively and also really versatile, which is what I like. Nick Nurse said, Paul George and Caleb Martin are capable at both ends of doing high-level things. He also touted the Sixers' size at center and feisty speed of their guards. So Nick Nurse seems like he's definitely excited to get to training camp with this revamped roster and all of the new pieces that are on the team. And I think we are all excited also. Joel Embiid on what he wants from the Sixers roster. Consistency. That's really all I demand. He's talked previously and mentioned again today how champions have played together for years. More than a specific style of play, he wants a team he can play with for a longer time. So Joel Embiid is basically telling the front office, please, did you finally give me a team that we're not going to flip over in 12 months? Joel Embiid comments on Dikembe Mutombo's passing. Joel Embiid said he lost 25 to 30 pounds this offseason and that he still wants to lose some more. That's so interesting, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the video because I have my opinions on Joel Embiid's weight loss, and it's just it's a conundrum. All right. Tyrese Maxey said it will be difficult to nail down a way to play for this new Sixers team, but that they have the right coach and players to work it all out. So somebody asked him, what do you think is the style of play you guys are going to go with? And he gave the obvious answer that we didn't get in the gym yet. We need to do training camp and figure that out. I think it'll be great, Tyrese Maxey said. Maxey on his offseason work. I went into the offseason with 3 to 4 bullet points that I wanted to get better, and I think that made it easier for me. Now answer me in the comments. What do you think those 3 to 4 things are for Tyrese Maxey? If you know, if you think you know all 3 or 4 of them, list them in the comments. What you think the 3 or 4 bullet points were that Tyrese Maxey wrote down this offseason. For me, the only real thing Tyrese Maxey needed to get better on was the defensive end of the floor, and he clearly added muscle, and I think he's been focusing a lot on the defensive side of the floor to give himself more of a complete two-way game. So we'll see this season if that's the case. I'm getting old, Tyrese says. I'm 23 years old. I'm ancient at this point. Tyrese said it will be difficult. Yeah, okay. And Maxey, if we take 3 steps back, we need to take 4 steps forward. Tyrese Maxey on Paul George. He's somebody who can do a lot of different things. You plug and play him. Nick Nurse is going to do a good job of featuring him and putting him in the right spots to be successful. And he's hungry for a championship. And Nick Nurse also commented on Paul George being able to play defense. So I think I agree with that. I think Paul George is plug and play. And we're going to talk about what Paul George said on the second part of this video. also about why he chose to come to Philadelphia. But I am very interested to see what Nick Nurse does with Paul George, and he's hungry for a championship. We all want to win. It all seems like it's perfect timing. It's perfect timing for Paul George. It seems like Maxey has ascended at such a fast pace that, we were saying he's not on Joel Embiid's timeline just a couple years ago, and now it seems like it might all be perfect timing. I know we do this every year, guys, but this might be the year. Now I'm going to talk about the things that Paul George said in his press conference, the things that Joel Embiid said in his press conference, and more after this word from our sponsors. This is brought to you by Game Time Ticket App. Go to Game Time Ticket App and use promo code CLNS for $20 off. Let me tell you why Game Time is the best damn ticket app out of all ticket apps. Because Game Time filters everything for you. You don't have to go on Facebook Marketplace to try to find Sixers tickets for a low price. Game Time gets all the tickets together from everywhere and gives you the flash deals, best available price, the cheapest price. They do it for you. Look, this is the Sixers preseason game against the New Zealand Strikers or something like that. I forget what they're called, bro. This is this upcoming Monday at 7 o'clock in Philly, Wells Fargo Center. And look, bro, you want to go to this game? The cheapest seat in the house is $2. You can go to this game for $2. You can sit in the top right here for $3. You can get a little bit lower for $14. You can sit damn near courtside for $368. You can sit in the front row for $786. Game Time does all the work for you. All right. Call to action. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Now let's get back to it. Because I want to talk about what Paul George said in his press conference. Paul George. It's a really talented group, top to bottom. The character here, everybody's on the same page. It's a real brotherhood. This is going to be a fun year. Paul George sounds like he really likes the character of everybody here. Everybody's been having fun. You saw those pictures of Caleb Martin and Kelly Oubre and Andre Drummond wearing the Eagles inflatable in the practice facility. And I think these guys are all meshing together and getting along well. And, maybe their personalities fit together as well as it seems like their skill sets are going to fit together. Paul George on Joel Embiid's claims of losing 25 to 30 pounds. Paul George says Embiid looks great. He looks slimmed down. Reggie Jackson said the Sixers' versatility is a reason why they'll be a championship contender. He stressed that staying healthy and prepared is also key. Absolutely. Now back to Paul George. I was watching some of his live interview on NBC Philly, and one of them, he said one of the main reasons he chose Philly, which outside of the money, was that he's never played with a star point guard and center on the same roster. So Paul George at this stage of his career feels like the Sixers roster construction is a perfect fit for him to, use his skill set to help the team, but maybe not necessarily be expected or asked to lead the team through the playoffs solo dolo like he tried to do with the Clippers last year. I think it's perfect timing. I really do. And I think that's why Paul George, I agree that that's one of the main reasons Paul George chose the Sixers is because of Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid and the fact that his skill set is needed and his skill set should fit on this roster. What else we got, man? Kelly Oubre. I don't really care what Kelly Oubre said. Andre Drummond called himself the best rebounder in basketball history. Dennis Rodman was 6'7", led the league in rebounding 7 years in a row. That's a record to this day. He has the most 20 rebound games in history. He has the most 30 rebound games in history. I love you, Andre Drummond, but Dennis Rodman's the best rebounder in history. Your per 36 is wild, though. Your per 36 is wild. Gershon Yabusele said his three-point shooting will be huge for him with the Sixers, adding that he has to be ready to catch and fire away when Joel Embiid kicks out the ball to him. This is another reason that I said Yabusele could be a perfect power forward option for the Sixers, because his three-point shooting was a 41% three-point shooter in Europe. His three-point shooting in the Olympics wasn't great. But over the 3 or 4 years he was in Europe, he was a good three-point shooter. So we'll see if that translates, man. I hope it does, because I think he has all the other intangibles that you need at the power forward position. I think he's physical. He's 6'8", 285. The guy's a tank. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for Yabusele. You guys already know that. Ricky Council said he loved acclimating Philly as his new home. Big expectations for Ricky Council this season too. You know what I mean? Because last season we all felt like Ricky Council deserved some playoff minutes for just the heart and physicality and skill set that he was bringing to this team when we were really lacking players who would just attack with reckless abandon. He was that guy, especially when we were watching Tobias Harris every night tiptoe down the lane because he didn't want to break a nail. So this upcoming season is big for Ricky Council, and he's another player that I'm very excited to see this season. I'm comfortable playing any role, anything they need me to do, I can do. Ricky Council says. He also says, me and Maxey had a good time on vacation. I knew y'all were going to bring up the socks on the boat thing. I don't even know what that really means. He's wearing socks on a boat. Justin Edwards, the Sixers signed Isaiah Mobley, Jordan Tucker, some late end of roster additions there, or two ways, or G League additions. Dembona said he's looking to build trust with his teammates and coaches during training camp. Explained that being trusted is the foundation of securing a role with this new team. Hey, that's a good point there. Being trusted is very important for a young player, especially with a coach like Nick Nurse, who has some Doc Rivers tendencies when it comes to playing young players in the playoffs. If he doesn't trust you, you're just not even going to get a minute on the floor in the playoffs. We saw that with, Ricky Council. So hopefully, Dembona does earn that trust. Now, let's get to the interesting parts of the day, which was Joel Embiid said he lost 25 to 30 pounds. Now, look, does he look slimmed down? Sure, a little bit. I personally don't think it looks anything like he lost 30 pounds, dude. 30 pounds is a ton of weight to lose. He would look much different if he lost 30 pounds. All right. This is what Joel Embiid looked like at Kansas at 245. He's listed at 275. 30 pounds down would be 245. He does not look anything close to that. So, no, I don't think he lost 30 pounds, bro. And, I've been a fitness person for my whole life. And so, I really study a lot, gaining weight, losing weight, things like that. And 30 pounds is a ton of weight. Joel Embiid didn't lose 30 pounds. I'd say personally he looks like he lost maybe 5. Just my take on that. You give me your opinion. And they also said Tyrese Maxey added 12 pounds of muscle. I don't think people quite understand how much muscle that is. Tyrese Maxey looks like he may have added 3 to 5 pounds of muscle, which is a nice addition. He didn't add 12 pounds of muscle, bro. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think the best quote of media day was from Joel Embiid when he said, "The goal is to get me to the playoffs healthy. There is no all-star or all-NBA talk this year. It's all about getting to the playoffs healthy." And I couldn't have asked for Joel Embiid to say something better than this in this press conference. We're tired of Joel Embiid chasing the MVP trophy. We're tired of people talking about a 65-game cutoff for him to be eligible to win awards. Nobody in Philadelphia 76ers Nation gives a shit anymore about anybody winning an award. Nobody cares. We want to win in the playoffs. To do that, we need Joel Embiid at 100% full strength. And I'm talking what he looks like when he's at full strength in November and December is absolutely unstoppable. He puts up legendary, historic stat lines, and they need to find a way to get that Joel Embiid in the playoffs. Not Joel Embiid coming off a knee surgery or a broken face and all these things. They finally need that level of Joel Embiid. And he wasn't that level of Joel Embiid last year in the playoffs because he was coming off a knee surgery, and he still averaged 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists versus the Knicks. So just imagine what will happen in the playoffs if Joel Embiid is finally healthy. So there's that. Anything else you guys heard during training camp during media day that I missed? Go ahead and throw it in the comments for us. Let's have the conversation. And just for fun now, Ben Simmons over in Brooklyn, New York's land, Brooklyn Nets land, said that I think people forget me as a player when I am healthy. I can play basketball. I'm pretty good. How many years is Ben Simmons going to use this back tightness excuse to scam the NBA for more money? He's now, this is what Ben Simmons is doing, okay? He doesn't like basketball. He doesn't give a shit about basketball. He likes being rich, okay? He knows he's not going to get another 5-year, $200 million contract. Ben Simmons is just trying to get another NBA contract somehow, some way. And that's what he's going to do. And I actually think I'm pretty good. He's even lowering his own standards, you know. He's like, listen, guys, I'm not an all-star. I'm not the star I was supposed to be. I'm not the next Magic Johnson. I'm none of that. But I'm pretty good, bro. You should probably give me another contract at least. Sad situation, and I'm sorry, the Brooklyn Nets fans. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck you, Brooklyn Nets fans. And another thing in the Eastern Conference that I found interesting was Giannis Antetokounmpo told reporters today that he did not work out once with Damian Lillard this offseason. Antetokounmpo and Lillard talked often on the phone, but zero on-court work for Milwaukee's duo. That is a terrible sign for the Milwaukee Bucks, who I believe imploded their entire Giannis era, especially when they hired Doc Rivers. They're going to continue to spiral downward. And that's fun for me because that's one less threat for the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference. As far as my opinion right now, it's the Sixers, the Knicks, and the Celtics at the top of the Eastern Conference, and that is what it is. Y'all give me all your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with me, and thank you to Game Time Ticket app for sponsoring the channel. Again, use promo code CLNS for $20 off on the Game Time Ticket app. Get you a Sickos hoodie on runitbackphillyshop.com. I'll see y'all tomorrow after the first day of 76ers training camp. I'm out.